What is going on, painting company owners? Brandon from Painter Marketing Pros here. Happy Tuesday. Hope your week is going well so far. What is your close rate? Does it vary with seasonality? So in the summer, in busy season, kind of depending on where you are, your close rate becomes, I guess, a little bit less important. When the kind of a rising tide lifts all boats, you could deal with a little bit lower close rate. If you had a 25-30% close rate, you could be fine as long as you're getting a sufficient number of leads, unless you're trying to aggressively grow, in which case, maybe not. The argument could probably be made the other way around. But typically you can pretty much deal with a close rate that's maybe a little bit lower than you want. But how about when you go into slow season? How about when you're, if you are kind of in the northern half of the US, when you're in winter, what do you do to improve your close rate? Because when you have fewer leads, when you're competing for fewer jobs with the same number of painting contractors, keep in mind, around you, then how do you win more consistently? And that's where having a super buttoned up sales process is key. What is your sales process? And well, I call them right away, or I pick up the phone, or I call them several times. That's not a sales process. Or I call them and then I go out and conduct an estimate and call them the next day. That's not a sales process. So do you have a really dialed in sales process? And when leads become a little bit more scarce, when competition becomes a little more fierce, that is how you avoid having to lower your prices. That is how you can consistently close projects while still charging prices that make sense for your business. Because at the end of the day, at least the people I'm speaking to, so you could be listening to it, but the people that I am really addressing here, you own a business. Your goal is to own a business and to have that business work for you, right? If you're a painter and you just love painting, that's a different thing. I speak to painting company owners, right? And we work with painting company owners that are really our business people. So if that's your goal, you have to have a certain level of profitability to grow, to maintain your margins, your profit, to make sure that you're taking enough money away from each job consistently, to make sure you're closing a high enough percentage of your jobs that you are able to hire, able to pay well, able to keep and maintain and hire great employees, while still having a business that you can grow and live comfortably off, that can provide for you and your family. So the close rate is important, and as we're heading kind of into the winter here, I think you'll see it's even more important. But it's just something to be aware of. A lot of painting company owners just don't even think about it. It's just really not on their radar. You ask them what their close rate is and they don't know, or they don't know how to change it. They think the only way to change is by reducing price, which is not the way to change it. So stuff to keep in mind as we head into winter. Keep going strong. It's still early December. Things will slow down, but let's crush this first half of December.